Hello, bass players. Alex here with stepbystepmusic.com. Today we're going to be learning the major scale pattern in two different ways. So we're going to be reviewing what I call the primary pattern. So it takes 3 strings to complete, starting with the second finger. If you've learned the major scale, it's a pretty standard pattern. We're also going to be reviewing what I call learning what I call the secondary pattern, which means that we're going to be starting with our 4th finger, and it will take exactly 4 strings to complete. So this is a 6-string bass special today. So at the end, we're going to go ahead and link those two together in 2 different ways. So if you're playing 6-string bass with me today, at the end of this lesson, you will be able to play a 2-octave major scale in one position from 2 different starting points. Here's my fretboard. We're going to be starting here on a G. That's 8th fret on the B string. You can follow along wherever you like. I'm going to review the primary, what I call the primary major scale pattern. So I'm going to start with my 2nd finger. We're just going to go through this once with just fingering. So there's my 2nd finger. I'm going to add my 4th finger, next string, 1st finger, 2nd finger, 4th finger, next string, 1st finger, 3rd finger, and 4th finger. Okay, going back down, we're going to go 4, 3, 1, next string, 4, 2, 1, last string, 4 and 1, 4 and 2. So let's look at the scale degrees. That's the numbers in the scale, and I'll point out the half steps involved. It's a whole step between most of these notes. Sometimes it's a half step. So scale degree 1, 2, 3, half step to 4, 5, 6, 7, half step to 8, going back down from 8 to 7, half step, 6, 5, 4, half step to 3, 2, and 1. So that is our primary pattern. I'll run through that one more time. There we have it. Okay, so we're going to look at the secondary pattern now. So that took 3 strings to complete, starting with my 2nd finger. I'm going to back this up. I'm going to start with my 4th finger here. And we're also going to learn a position shift. And so we're not going to do quite a position change. We're going to get into a new position to reach a new note that we'll need. But we're going to shift into it. It's a little bit more slick than a full-on position change. I'm starting with my 4th finger again. So same note, G. Going to my 1st finger, 3rd finger, 4th finger, next string, 1st finger. Now I'm reaching these 4 frets, right? I'm spanning these 4 frets. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to sort of move into a closed position. This is my position shift. And I'm going to hit 2 frets below. I'm on my 5th fret, going to my 7th fret. I'm going to hit that with my 4th finger, and then I'm going to expand back to hit my 4th fret with my 1st finger. And then closing it off with the octave with my 2nd finger. Let's go back down to G again, and let's start that one more time. Let's take a look at that again. 4, 1, 3, 4, 1, closing to a closed position. 4, expanding back in the other direction. 1 and 2, kind of like an inchworm, okay? Okay. So let's look at scale degrees now. We're on scale degree 1, scale degree 2, 3, half step to 4, 5, closing it up for 6, expanding back for 7, and then half step to 8, going back down, half step to 7, reaching for 6, expanding or contracting rather back to 5, expanding for 4, half step down to 3, 2, and 1. Okay, that was my secondary major scale pattern. So we now have 2 ways to play the major scale, the primary and the secondary. Primary pattern starts with finger 2, takes 3 strings to complete. Secondary starts with finger 4, takes 4 strings to complete. Now, here's the beauty. On the 6th string, I can actually link these together, starting with either pattern, and I can play the entire 2-octave scale in one position. Very cool stuff. Let's go ahead and check that out. I will start in my primary pattern, and we're going to go ahead and see how that links up to the secondary pattern. So I'll talk in scale degrees this time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now, strangely enough, my primary pattern ends on my fourth finger. Well, that's beautiful because my secondary pattern starts on my fourth finger. So I think you're picking up what I'm laying down now. We're going to go ahead and continue this from here with our position shift as needed, and then complete the second octave. Notice it takes 4 strings to complete. Well, it just so happens I have 4 strings in front of me, including this one. So second octave, we're at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, contracting for 6, expanding for 7, 8. Okay, let's look at that whole thing, starting from the lower octave one more time, and we'll put them together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's go back down. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Easy as that. Okay, let's look at the other way to do this. So we can start with our secondary pattern, our more unusual pattern. If I find myself in this position and I want to rip myself 2 octaves of the major scale in one position, I am fully equipped to do so. And so are you. So let's go ahead and take a look at that, starting with my fourth finger. I'll actually use scale degrees here. So starting with scale degree 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Again, I'm at my 8th note, same as my first. That's my octave. I am starting my second octave in the primary pattern. So it just happens to sync up with that. So let's finish that second octave. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's it. Let's take a look at it one more time, starting from the secondary pattern, going through both octaves, putting them together. So we have scale degree 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's take it back down. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's it. That's it. Okay, just for fun, let's put some drums on, and let's go ahead and do both these patterns. I've got some drums at 120. We're going to be playing half notes at 120, so effectively 60 beats per minute. And we're going to hear one bar in, and then I'll count us in for 4. And here we go. I'm going to start with, again, G major scale, starting with the primary pattern, linking it up to the secondary pattern. 2 octaves. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Back down. That's it. That's it. Let's go ahead and do the same thing. Same tempo, same drum beat. We're going to start in the secondary pattern this time and link those together. Same count. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Back down. That's it. Easy as that. So now you have 2 different patterns to practice with, depending on where you're starting, depending on where you end up. We always want to be able to play things in multiple ways. If you only practice things in one way, then you'll only be able to play things in that way. And we want to be as flexible and pliable as possible so that we can have power and control over our instrument. This pattern, by the way, or this sort of philosophy, playing a scale pattern in two different ways. The primary pattern and the secondary pattern can be done for any diatonic scale. On the 6-string bass or on a guitar, you can get 2 octaves out of any diatonic scale. That's the major scale, the minor scale, or any of the 5 associated modes in one position. And if you're playing a 4-string or a 5-string bass, you can also use these patterns and practice these patterns and learn these patterns. You'll only get 1 octave out of any given pattern, but still really, really good to practice, really good to get good at. If you have questions, if you need lessons, visit me at stepbystepmusic.com, and I will see you there.